Have you ever found yourself struggling with printing formatted output on the screen? Here is the answer of your question. Hi, this is Krupali from KnowHow Academy. So let me tell you what you are going to learn in this video. In this video, you will learn how you can print formatted output on the screen with the help of different formatting options available in Python. So let's start implementing. But before doing it in a Python, let me explain you the scenario. Let's say you are working on a project. As a part of your project task, you need to generate a proper bill receipt to the user and it should print in a proper format. So how you can do that? Before that, let me show you different way of printing formatted string on the screen. So here I have written a normal way of printing string on a screen. So let's say I'm taking one variable name, it contains some value, and I'm taking another variable that is age variable, and here I'm printing value that person is that much year old. So basically here it is printed John is 36 years old. But there is another way of printing it. So let me show you. So first of all you need to write print, then you should write double quotation, and before the double quotation you should write F. F is indication of this is a formatted string. Then whatever value you want to print using a variable, you should write it in a curly bracket. So here let's say name, and then if rest of the static string you should write without curly bracket is age year old and hit the enter. So here it is printing that John is 36 years old. So this is using a F string you will able to generate a formatted output. Now let me show you second way. So let's take a variable str1 equal to. Then you want to print the formatted output. So how you can do that? So let's write it in a double quotation and write the empty curly bracket. Here we are not using this time for variable inside a curly bracket, but we will write empty curly bracket, and then we will write again a empty bracket, and here then we will write year old, and then I will write dot, and then I will write format, and then I am passing the name and age. So basically first place I want to print John, and the second place I want to print age. So let me just run it. So here it is printed the same way as the above. But here remember that if name and age, it will print in a sequence. Let's say if I am writing here age and I am writing here name, let's see what can be the result. So here it is printing that 36 is John year old. So basically that does not make sense. Why? The reason is that in a sequence we are passing the variable which is not suited with the proper formatted string. So it is generating wrong, or you can say it is generating a string which we cannot understand what try to say. So, and one more thing is that you can pass here the index. So let's say whatever there is at 0th index, I want to print it at the second position. So here you can write 0, and here let's say name is on a first index, but I want to print it first. So here I can write it 1, and let's see that. So here it is printed. Although we have written name and age not in a sequence, but using the index, or you can say using the positional argument number, we can print it in a proper way. So this way you can print it. The another way of printing is that directly in a print statement you can write like this. Okay, double quotation. Then let's say you want to print some full sentence. So let's say there is one dog who want to play the chess. Okay. Now instead of dog and instead of chess, I will use variable name. So here this one, not variable name but empty bracket, and then after I will write format, and here inside I am writing variable name that is pet name, equal to dog, and here I will write a second variable, let's say hobby, and here I will write chess. So what I need to write here? Name of a variable, that is pet name, or I don't want to write anything. Okay, so let's print it. Okay, I have written a wrong spelling format. Oh, it is asking that where is the variable name. So here I should write variable name, that is pet name, and here I should write hobby. So here it is printing that there is one dog who want to play chess. Now instead of dog, let's change value in this variable. Let's say lion, and here musical chair. So here it is printed according to the what can be the value we have passed in formatted string. So this way also you can do that. There is also another method which is quite old, but let me explain you with the example. Let's say you can write print, and inside a double quotation you can write %s. S is for printing string. Let's say if you want to print numeric value, you should write %d. So you should write is %d. Why? Because 36 is a decimal number or numeric number. You can say d is year old. And here at the end you should write % and then name and age. Let me complete the bracket. So this is the way of printing, but every time we cannot remember the data type of variable. So it's a quite old method to use that. Nowadays no one is using. Now the second thing is that using a formatted string you can print it. So how you can print it? So let's say I'm printing my name, let's say Krupal, and hit enter. So it is printed starting from the left hand side. But what if I want to print my name starting with the right alignment? So for that you need to write it in a curly bracket, and you should provide comparison operator. So for that you need to write print, then inside a double quotation you should write that curly bracket, and you should write, let's say if you want to print from the right hand side, so you need to write greater than sign, but before that you should write colon greater than sign and how much space you want to allocate. So I want to allocate 10 space, and then you should write format, and here I'm writing test. Okay, or I can write my name instead of test. Okay, so it is printing from the right hand side, you can check it out. So here you can see this much space is given. So basically what string you are passing, so I am passing 7 character strings, so rest of the 3 space will be filled with the space. Let's say here I am writing only hi, so it will start printing hi from the right hand side, but left hand side space will be filled with space. So here you can see that this much space. So here in that case 8 space, and then after whatever character you have written inside the format. So this way you can write it. So let's say if you want to print 2 to 3 values, okay. So here you can see hi and hello. Why there is too much space between that? For hi it is allocated 10 space, and for hello it is also allocated 10 space. According to the character it will fill the space in the remaining area. So this way you can write it. And also let's say this you want to print it from the left hand side, so you should write less than sign. So it will print from the left hand side, and if you write greater than sign, that means it will print from the right hand side. Okay. Now let's say if you want to print Great. In middle, so you should write like this, curly bracket, then colon, then you should write caret sign, and then you should write a space. So let's say I want to give 10 space, and here I want to write my name. So here you can see that here is the space, and Krupali, here also space is there, and here also space is there in name Krupali. Why? It is at the center. You may have a feeling that hello should print it like that, but you not like that. First column filled with 10 space, but it will start printing data from the left hand side. Then second string, again 10 space will be allocated, but data is printed from the right hand side. And for the third, we are allocating 10 space, and in 10 space I am filling Krupali name at the middle of. So it is 7 character. So you can see that how much space is left. So left hand side 2 space and right hand side 1 space is allocated. So it will take according to the whatever sign you have written in the curly bracket, that is greater than sign, less than sign, or caret return sign. Now let's come to our starting question, that you want to generate a receipt for the user. So for that you have written one dictionary, and which contain 3 fruit name and quantity and what can be the unit price of that. Then I am writing print statement which will print that things in a proper format, and let's see whether it's printing in a proper format or not. So it is not printing in a proper format. So how I can do that? So let's do some modification in above code and try to print in a proper way. So first of all, what I will do, I will give some space to these 4 things, that is item, quantity, unit price and total, and I will print it in a proper tabular way. So rather than using this normal print statement, I will use another print statement. Let me write it, print, then here I will print it in a proper formatted string way. So for that I will write this code, F, and then let's say I want to first print the item name. So first of all I will write curly bracket, and here in previous code we did not write anything before the colon. Why? Because we want to print static string. But here we will write variable name before the colon. Why? Because this time we variable name value we want to print it in a proper format. So let me just copy this variable name and write it, and after that write a colon and how much space you want to give. So I want to give space, let's say 50, and I want to print it left hand side, so I am writing less than sign. Then again do same for the quantity and price and total. So let's do for the quantity. Instead of item name, let's print quantity, and this quantity I want to print from the right hand side, so greater than sign, and I want to give only 10 space. Okay, then again I want to print unit price, so let me copy this thing and paste unit price here, and here I am giving only 5. Okay, then do same for total, and this time I am also giving left hand side print and giving 5. Okay, so I'm done with that. So let's check it whether it's working fine or not. So let me run it. Now you can see that it is printed in a proper tabular kind of thing, but still heading is not clear. So let me give the heading also. So here you can see 15, 10, 5, 5. So in same ratio I need to give it. So here instead of that, let me remove this and let me write my formatted string, print, then in double quotation in bracket, and this time I want to print specific static string, so I am writing colon only, and then less than sign and 15 for the item name. Then next is for quantity, next is for unit price. let me give only 5. And also for total. And then you should write format. And inside round bracket, mention the item quantity, unit price and so on. So let me execute it. And here I need to give some more space. Here you can see that unit price and total is not coming properly. So let me just give more space to the total. So it can, now here total 10 times. So let me just give only 8. Now it's come properly. Now unit price, here quantity and total. So that's look good. Then here instead of writing this dash 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 manually, I have one more way to show you, that is write print what you want to print it. So I want to print it dash, and how many times I want to print it? I want to print it let's say 50 times. So you can write like this and say automatically 50 times it will print. And also here I can do same for the downside dash line, print 50. And here it's done. Now it's time for only the total amount. So let it be total amount like this. Let me remove this here and print it in a proper format. Let's say here total amount from right hand side. So 15 space I want to give, and then I also want to print the total amount variable value. So again, but I want to print it from the left hand side. So let me give 10 here, not 10 but 8, and here I am writing total amount. But here there is a syntax error. What's the reason for that? Because here you should remove like this and you should write format and this much. Okay. And still here let me just remove this, and here total amount variable I want to print it. So let's see that, and complete the bracket also. Okay, I have done, and let me complete the bracket. Okay, yes. Now let's execute it. Okay, here it is saying that total amount is not a proper variable. Okay, so here let me just remove this and write it. So here it's printed, and here this I want to print here. So this some space I need to give in previous static string. So let me just write it 30. Okay, so this much more space I need to give, I think 40. Okay, 4 is more than this, 40 is more than this, so let's give it 5 only. Okay, and remove this here 38. Now it's coming in a proper way. So this way you can print formatted output on the screen. So I hope you get an idea how you can print formatted string on the screen. Thank you for choosing KnowHow Academy as a source of your IT knowledge. We are always here to help you to navigate to the tech world. If you have any question, do not feel hesitate to reach out to us. Stay curious, keep learning.